Medieval towns. Did you know that medieval towns faced overcrowded conditions, terrible smells from rotting garbage, and the constant threat of epidemics and fires? What captivated me to write about medieval towns is how they developed, grew, and became independent, how the revival of trade led to the growth of cities and towns. What were the main reasons for the growth of medieval towns? The revival of trade, the improvements in agriculture, and the growing of population. What were the improvements in agriculture? In the early Middle Ages, Europe had a relatively small population. In the High Middle Ages, population increased dramatically. For 300 years, starting from 1000, the population increased almost double, from 38 million to 74 million people. What caused this huge increase in population? After the invasions of the early Middle Ages had stopped, the conditions in Europe became more stable and peaceful, and this led to a dramatic increase in food production. From one side, food production increased because of change in climate during the High Middle Ages. From the other side, more land was cultivated as peasants cut down trees and drained swamps. By 1200, Europeans had more land for farming than they do today. Other reason for the development of agriculture is the changes in technology. For example, the people of the Middle Ages harnessed the power of water and wind to do jobs that before were done by human and animal power. There are two very important reasons that increased the food production. The three-field system, which allows more land to be used, and the heavy iron plows, which made it possible to plow faster. The use of iron was crucial in making the carruca, a heavy-wheeled plow with an iron plowshare. This plow could easily turn over heavy clay soils. The new inventions for the horse made it possible to plow faster. A new horse collar spread the weight around the shoulders and chest rather than the throat. Another invention was the iron horseshoe. Another reason for the increase of food production was the shift from a two-field to a three-field system. In the early Middle Ages, peasants divided their land into two fields of equal size. One field was planted, while the other remained unplanted to regain its fertility. The change to the three-field system meant that only one-third rather than one-half of the land remained unplanted at any time. To keep the soil from being exhausted so quickly, they rotated the crops, which allowed more crops to be grown. The revival of trade. The medieval Europe was basically an agricultural society in which most people lived in small villages. In the 11th and 12th centuries, the revival of trade brings to the growth of the cities. The revival of trade in Europe was gradual. People were emerging with both skills and products for trade. For example, Venice had become a major trading center, trading in Mediterranean, exporting goods and importing sugar, rice, and spices from Middle East and Asia. As trade increased, demand for gold and silver coins arose at fairs and trading markets. The growth of medieval towns, the revival of trade, and the improvement of agriculture led to the revival of medieval towns.